We got to talk about this whole New Day breaking up thing.
The Rock says, the Rock says,
Welcome back to another episode of FPW, the Flash Pro Wrestling Show. I am your host, Chris Flash, and here we talk about pro wrestling. Before I get into my thoughts about this whole New Day situation, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that it was the greatest heel turn of all time, like some people are saying? Or do you think it was something that really wasn't needed? Did we need the New Day to break up or turn heel in the way that they did? Y'all let me know in the comments. All right, first and foremost, let me just say this. I am not a fan of this whole New Day breakup thing. And the reason being is because I don't really feel like it was necessarily needed. They could have turned heel without going this route, right? So they had the whole New Day 10-year celebration thing, and Kofi and Woods come out, and they don't seem like they are at odds in the way that they did the previous weeks. Now, when they first started the show, they kind of showed Xavier coming in by himself and Kofi coming in by himself, just to raise the tension. When they come out, they're taking a walk down memory lane, and they're just saying thank you to everyone. But you can tell they're about to that Woods is about to say, "Oh, we're about to go our separate ways." And then Big E comes out. He comes down and he's like, "Listen, I'm not gonna let you guys break this whole thing up after 10 years and everything that we've meant for each other and we've done for each other. There's no way this is gonna stop. So I'm going to insert myself back until I'm medically cleared. I'm going to be you guys' manager to ensure that you guys stay together and work this thing out." Of course, the crowd pops, right? And Woods looks at E and goes, "Now you decide to come back after everything that you've seen me and Kofi go through over this time frame where you've been away. You now decide that now is the best time for you to come back." After he had a line that said, "After we've done everything that we can do, and the only other option is to jump off the cliff, now you decide to come back." And they kind of go into this whole thing about, you broke your neck, but you didn't even need surgery, and yada yada yada, and you're never going to be medically cleared. I kind of almost felt like this was a way to officially write off Big E from in ring without him actually having to officially announce it. And then I did some more thinking about it, and I'm like, well, maybe this is their way of setting up the Big E return and kind of hinting that, okay, yeah, he's gonna come back and he's gonna get his revenge on them. But I don't know the way New Day was constructed originally. I don't know how you go through a return for Big E in this scenario, because Kofi and Xavier look at each other like, okay, now it's just me and you, it's just us, together, and yada yada yada. You can't have this heel turn without some sort of gold. Yeah, tag team gold has to be in mind, right? And with the Judgment Day already being champion, who's going to be the baby face that's going to beat the Judgment Day? And then they're going to drop the titles to the New Day, supposedly, right? Or is this a hunt for the tag team championships and only for Big E to come back? I just don't know where we go from here. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, when you have turns like this, you kind of want to know, oh, what does this mean? What does that mean? That makes you want to tune in for the next episode. But I I like the fact that the New Day, and I've said this before, I love the fact that the New Day was a faction that never actually broke up. And I guess technically they didn't break up here. They just kicked E out, even though E wasn't on TV aside from um, the the PLE panels. That's the only real time we saw E. It was the first time we saw E on Raw or SmackDown, and really since he broke his neck. And so E, from what I understand, is cleared to get back into the ring. He's just not sure if that's something that he wants to do to risk his health and put himself in a bad position for later on in his life when he has kids and yada yada yada. So they're really playing into this thing heavy. They even got the girlfriends involved. And if you don't know, E is dating Mia Yim's sister. And they were going at it online. It was more entertaining than the segment in itself. Watching, I think her name is Christy Yim. I could be wrong. You're gonna correct me in the comments anyway. But I think her name is Christy Yim, and she is she's like, what did she say? She said, I'm glad that now I don't have to make two separate meals for the holidays, a vegan meal for Kofi and a tasteless no a tasteless vegan meal for Kofi and a meal to match Xavier's childlike palate. They just going back and forth. This man, she said that to Xavier that I'll be mad too if my biggest achievement as a solo star was a Burger King crown. Can we get a promo segment with her and the rest of the New Day? And I gotta see it. I have to see it. That would be one of the greatest segments of all time, right? But okay, let's before we dive to well before we wrap all this stuff up, let's go back down memory lane and talk about how the New Day came to be. And E talked about this during the segment. Kofi and yeah, Kofi didn't know what he wanted to do. He wasn't even sure if he officially wanted to stay in WWE at the time. Ian Woods were on their way out. They were in all cases and purposes about to be released. And so this was a Hail Mary, a shot in the dark that it could work. And they were going to go out on their sword at least. I mean on their shield. And so they create the New Day and it had different iterations. At first we thought it was going to be a I mean, when I first thought, I thought it was going to be like a black version of Evolution, right? They come down, they got the suits on, real suited and booted and serious. And, you got this high flyer in Kofi, you got a powerhouse and Big E, and then you got the brains and Xavier. I thought it was going to be a perfect match. Then they kind of went with the whole church idea. And looking back and like after they've had the interviews and stuff, I kind of get where they were wanting to go in the sense of this is E's strength because he was raised up like this and like him doing the voices and stuff like that, it kind of works. But I was not a fan of New Day at first. I thought they were the most annoying. I was if you would have told me when they first got together it was gonna be together for 10 years, no way. No way. 10 years? 10 years. There are people, people that you were friends with growing up that you don't you know how rare it is to have a friend for 10 years, let alone be an act on television in wrestling for that long. So to get to that mark only for them to this to be the moment that they decide to break up, I don't know, man. I just wasn't. I mean, we all saw it coming that something was going to happen. And at least they were able to have the entire moment together because E was able to come back and share this moment with them from, from the outside looking in, just from, three friends' perspective. But I just wonder what this means for E. I mean, the success that they had together, E became WWE champion. Kofi became WWE champion. Xavier Woods became King of the Ring. They've won what 12, I think, tag team championships, including the NXT championships. They actually went back and won those. They held them for a little bit. I really don't. I don't know what could be more for them. That's the only thing I'm wondering. Like, I could understand this change maybe halfway through, and he gets hurt and they kind of push him away and yada, yada, yada. All right, now you still have more stuff to accomplish, theoretically. But with everything they've done and everything they've accomplished, does this heel turn really matter? Is what I'm wondering. I mean, yeah, it was interesting. It was great TV. It was very good to watch. I mean, E played this extremely well. Like it really made you want to cry. It was great, absolutely perfect segment. But the follow up, that's the only thing now. Like now you've done the thing. What does it mean for Kofi and Woods to be on their own? Because at first they were on their own. It was just Kofi and Woods. But now they claim that now it's different because E, like the thought of E is not there, right? The thought. So I don't know. I've been racking my brain trying to think of how I was gonna what I was gonna base this video off of. Like, but I what I'm wondering now is literally just where do we go from here with the New Day? because they were on their way out. They were kind of doing like not a Legends contract, obviously. They were still active, but they were kind of like enhancement talents. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, they didn't want to see them become that, but it just kind of happened. But I don't know. I don't know, man. It's such a bittersweet thing. I don't mind them being heel, that when they started out as a heel, but they started out together. And it was unfortunate that E, kept, he got hurt, and then they kept trying to break up E and the rest of the New Day. They would put E on one show and Kofi and Woods on the other show, and that would break them up, and they would come back together. They would always find themselves back together. I don't know why we can't have nice things. Why do we always have to tell the story of the team that's been together forever? You know what would be great? Break them up. I've never understood that philosophy, why you just can't have friends. Every great faction that's ever been together has been broken up because someone betrayed somebody or jumped somebody or something. Can we please just get a team that's solidified in, no, we are going to stay together. I thought the New Day was it, but they've gone and messed that up. They messed up the Usos, now they messed up I don't have any hope anymore. Like, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the Motor City Machine Guns don't turn on each other. Because they just don't like people being friends with each other for a long, extended amount of time, because I guess friendship doesn't equal money, apparently. You know what I mean? Like, even with the Bloodline was amazing together, and then they break up, which we knew that was coming, right? But then they break up, and then they trying to bring it back, and now we got a new Bloodline. I don't know. Maybe it's because conflict sells. Conflict makes for good television, so maybe that's what it is. But hey, like I said, my only question about this whole thing is just, where do we go from here? In the tag team division, what does this mean for Kofi and Woods? Are they chasing after more tag team gold? Is this going to be a kayfabe way to stick it to E, like we never needed you and you were the weak link, or yada, yada, yada? Where do we go from here? Does E show back up and try to be the voice of reason with them again? Again, is this going to be the way that E gets back into the ring and we get to see all of them have a match together? Could this lead to a New Day triple threat? I mean, we never did get the Shield triple threat. So could this be a New Day triple threat? I don't know if you'll have it at WrestleMania, which I would imagine if you're going to do it, you might as well have it at WrestleMania, right? But I don't know. But so what do you guys think of that? Would you want to see a New Day triple threat match at WrestleMania 41? Do you think there's enough there for it to put butts in seats? I think it could, just given the history. I don't think anybody really wants to see them break up, but if you tell a compelling enough story, I think the match would be good. I think they could really tell a great story there. So, I don't know. Again, let me know what you guys think down in the comments about this whole New Day heel turn / breakup and where we go from here. I'll be looking forward to reading that. And make sure you like and subscribe and join the Flash family. And I will see y'all down the road. And as always, be safe, be blessed, be kind. Peace.
The Rock says,